They uncovered the shocking truth behind Jesus' real name. Unravel the mystery. Few knew what truly happened that night under the unforgiving sky of Jerusalem. In a dimly lit room, the air thick with tension, whispers danced around like embers from a dying fire. The name Jesus echoed, but was it really his? Some murmured of hidden texts, ancient scrolls that hinted at something concealed, something deeper. It was the year 33 AD, a time of unrest. The Roman Empire loomed like a dark shadow over the land. Streets pulsed with life, yet unease thrummed beneath the surface. People gathered, hoping for a savior, yet mistrusting this man with the gentle voice and piercing eyes. Could it be that his true identity held power beyond their understanding? As the hours crept by, secrets unfolded. The disciples were restless, faces lined with doubt. Why had they been chosen? Were they guardians of the truth or pawns in a cosmic game? They watched him, his hands pressed firmly together, brow furrowed as if bearing the weight of worlds. In the flickering candlelight, his shadow danced on the walls, twisting into shapes of despair and hope. Then, a voice broke through the silence of fishermen, trembling, eyes wide. I heard of a name that struck fear into hearts. Gasps echoed around the room. They call him Yeshua, but is that the name he truly wanted? Or is this just another title imposed by others? The others leaned forward, hearts racing. Each word hung heavy like a storm cloud. Who was this man really? The one who walked on water, healed the sick, and commanded the winds? Such tales were far beyond any ordinary man. Could there be more to unravel? As they pondered, a sudden chill swept through the air. A hush fell like a curtain. Could the truth be darker than they dared to imagine? What would happen if they knew? What if this Yeshua was not just a beacon of light, but a key to unimaginable power? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon, and while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. In the stillness of that dimly lit room, where fear mingled with hope, the disciples found themselves encircled by shadows not just of the flickering candlelight, but of their own thoughts and uncertainties. The voice of the fishermen still echoed in their minds, each syllable a tremor upon their souls. Yeshua, the name, sparked a complex blend of reverence and trepidation. Was it more than just a name? Did it embody an essence that transcended their earthly comprehension? Outside, the world marched on, oblivious to the turmoil of the small gathering. Merchants called out as they sold their wares, children laughed and played in the streets, and voices lifted in prayer floated toward the heavens. Yet within the walls, it was as if time had paused, allowing them to delve deeper into the meaning of their journey with Yeshua. They were not merely followers. They were seekers of truth. Peter, ever the impulsive one, finally broke the silence. But what of the prophecies? What of the times foretold? Could it be that he holds the key to both salvation and destruction? His brow furrowed in contemplation. Could the very reason they were chosen be tied to a destiny far greater than any of them could envision? John, calm and reflective, met Peter's gaze. Might we be veil lifters in a grander plan? Perhaps our task is not solely to follow, but to understand not just the name, but the essence of who he is. If Yeshua reflects a deeper truth, are we prepared to bear the consequences of our understanding? His voice was gentle, yet it carried the weight of the impending revelation that hung palpably in the room. They drew closer together, forming a circle of trust and shared uncertainty. Each disciple harbored a flicker of fear of the unknown, of what the unraveling of this mystery might bring. The whispered implications of power echoed louder, a siren call to their hearts. They were not merely spectators of Yeshua's miracles. They were intricately woven into a narrative that beckoned them toward greater awareness. As they exchanged glances, An old memory surfaced for Matthew, the tax collector. Do you recall the words spoken by the rabbi on the hillside? Blessed are those who seek, for they shall find? Perhaps it is in searching for meaning that we will uncover his true identity. What if the name Yeshua is merely a starting point on a journey towards understanding the more profound truths? His question lingered heavy in the air, and the silence that followed felt electric, a potent mixture of anxiety and anticipation. Could they truly challenge what they had known, to seek beyond the surface? Yet the fear remained. What if the truths they unearthed were too potent, too perilous for the time in which they lived? In that moment, Yeshua, who had remained in silent contemplation, raised his head. His eyes glowed with a knowledge that seemed to bridge the gaps of understanding. "What do you seek?" he asked softly. Each disciple felt the weight of his question as if it reached into the marrow of their beings. As they struggled with their inner turmoil, a new thought spiraled through their minds. If they were to discover who he truly was, would they in turn discover who they, themselves, were meant to be? If Yeshua was indeed the path to deeper truths, what sacrifices awaited them on this journey? With a shared breath, they held their questions within, not ready to voice the enormity of the implications that lay ahead. The flickering shadows danced around them, echoing the turbulent waves of destiny they were about to ride. What would become of them in their search for Yeshua's true essence? And would they find themselves along the way, or would they become lost to the very truth they sought? As the weight of Yeshua's question hung in the air, the disciples exchanged hesitant looks, their hearts beating as one in that sacred moment. It was Andrew who finally mustered the courage to respond, his voice trembling yet resolved. "We seek to understand, to grasp the truth that lies beyond the parables and miracles. We wish to know if you are the one spoken of in the scriptures, the anointed, the Messiah who was to come. But will we know it when you reveal it to us?" Yeshua smiled, a gentle and knowing curve of his lips. "The answers shall not come with mere words, Andrew. What you seek cannot be captured in titles alone. It lies deeper, woven into the very fiber of existence, like a thread in a divine tapestry." The words stirred something in Nathanael, who had been silently wrestling with doubts. "But if you embody these truths, how are we to comprehend them? The paths we tread upon are fraught with ambiguity. We are but fishermen and tax collectors, each with our own burdens. Can we truly grasp the significance of your presence among us?" The room seemed to pulse with the weight of expectation. Yeshua's gaze turned inward for a moment, as if he were tracing the lines of his own path, contemplating the very essence of his being. "In seeking the truth, each of you must first confront the shadows within. The name I bear is a key, but it is the transformation within that unlocks the door to understanding." Caught in the moment, Matthew felt an urgency to clarify. "So, then, our journey is as much about ourselves as it is about you? What if we falter? What if the truth fractures us instead of uniting?" "Embrace the inquiry," Yeshua replied softly, his voice filled with an unshakable warmth. "Fear not the fractures. Transformation often begins in chaos. Seek the questions that stir your spirit, and you may yet find me. Together we will venture into that chaos, for it is through the challenge of understanding that your faith will take root." The disciples nodded, slowly beginning to absorb the profound implications of Yeshua's words. Their fears began to mingle with curiosity, sparking a deep thirst for exploration. Simon the Zealot, known for his fiery spirit, took a step forward. "If we are to venture and seek the truth, it requires courage. How do we even begin to shed our own pasts and embrace whatever you reveal?" Yeshua responded, "I invite you to walk with me through the valleys of doubt and the mountains of discovery. Each step taken in faith will unfold a greater reality. It is a journey with no map, guided instead by the light of trust and love." The notion of wandering in sacred uncertainty sent chills down their spines. The disciples had been accustomed to certainty, a defined law, prescribed rituals, yet now they stood on the precipice of the unknown. The flickering candlelight cast shifting shadows, a reflection of their own spiraling thoughts and emotions, in the corners of their minds. An unsettling revelation took shape. If they were to embrace this journey, the implications would ripple outward not just in their lives but in the world around them. There was a weight in their decision that both uplifted and burdened them as they mulled over the heaviness of the unknown. Judas leaned forward, an impetuous fire igniting in his eyes. What if the world is not ready for the truths we uncover? What if our understanding puts us at odds with our own people, inciting their wrath? Yeshua's gaze sharpened, penetrating and profound. In seeking the essence of truth, you will surely confront the boundaries of fear, both yours and those of others. The name that binds me and the unfolding realities may challenge what you once held to be true. But the light that guides you is more powerful than the shadows that seek to deter. With that, a silent agreement resonated among them. They would press on, stepping into the uncertain depths of faith and revelation. Yet unease lingered in the air. As they prepared to venture into the truth's abyss, another question emerged, a whisper cascading through their collective heart. What would they find on the path to the deeper understanding of Yeshua's essence? And would they emerge whole? Or would the truths they sought unravel their very souls? As the weight of Yeshua's promise lingered, the disciples found themselves seated once more in semi-darkness, where shadows danced with the flickering of the oil lamps. Each man was lost in his own thoughts, grappling with the radiance of faith that now danced like a firefly in the twilight of their understanding. The uncharted waters of revelation beckoned them forward, yet the specter of doubt loomed large. Peter, ever the outspoken, began to speak, though the uncertainty clouded his words. Master, if we are to walk this path alongside you, knowing that the truth is hidden in layers, how will we recognize the moments when the veil is lifted? Will our hearts stir? Or will we see with our own eyes? Yeshua regarded Peter with gentleness, a knowing glint sparking in his eyes. Each man sees through the lens that he has fashioned over a lifetime. You will know the truth not simply by sight or sound, but by the transformation it brings within you. It will resonate with your spirit, awakening parts of you long dormant. Jude, reflecting on the struggle within the hearts of his companions, spoke hesitantly. And if reaching for that truth brings us into conflict, into discord, if it drives a wedge between us and those we love, how do we bear that burden? Ah, Jude, Yeshua replied, his tone softening, the truth can indeed bring division, as it shines light upon the darkness. But even in the discord it fosters, remember this: love binds deeper than the fiercest of wounds. You must learn to wield it as your shield and your sword. A raucous laughter erupted from Thaddeus, breaking the tension momentarily, as he jested. Then we have our weapons picked, a shield of love and a sword of discovery. Though I fear we might not fare well in a battle of words with our own kin. The soft laughter was a balm, yet soon gave way to silence. As the group simmered in reflection, the atmosphere shifted, heavy with contemplation. Nathanael, who had earlier wrestled with his skepticism, ventured another question. Master, if love is our shield, does it not also make us vulnerable to the judgments and disdain of others? Are we not inviting strife? Indeed, and therein lies the paradox of existence, Yeshua replied. In vulnerability you may find your greatest strength. To love authentically is to become a target for misunderstanding and scorn. Yet, it is in the honesty of that love where you will uncover the depth of your own souls. As the weight of his words sunk deep, the air grew thick with unresolved tension. Simon the Zealot contemplated the layers of fear that threatened their journey. But is there not a risk that the more truths we uncover, the more the world will see us as outcasts? We may very well lose everything. Yeshua looked at each of them, his expression resolute, yet tender. True understanding of love and truth commands sacrifice. It is a shedding of skins, a rebirth in a world that thrives on the familiar. What you must ask yourselves is whether your fear of losing is greater than your desire to know the divine. The flicker of resolve ignited anew in their hearts, yet uncertainty remained, profound in its grip. Just then, a soft breeze swept through the gathering, carrying with it a whisper of the divine, a reminder of the holy mystery entwined in their journey. Be mindful, Yeshua continued. The journey toward truth is often fraught with shadows that seek to deter. As you peel back the layers, pay attention to what emerges from the depths of your souls. It may reveal both the beauty and the flaws, the divine spark entwined with human frailty. As if spoken from the very depths of the earth, an unasked question clung to the silence that followed. Would they hold steadfast in their resolve to journey deeper into truth and love, despite the fears that shadowed the path ahead? And in embracing the truth, would they lose themselves entirely or find a greater version of who they were meant to be? As the quiet settled in, Yeshua leaned back, allowing the tension to linger in the air like the last notes of a melody. The soft flicker of the lamps cast long shadows against the stone walls, reminding the disciples of the ephemeral nature of their gathering and the enduring quest that lay before them. Each man wrestled with the call to delve deeper into what had been spoken, the profound implications threading their thoughts. John, with his gentle nature, broke the silence. "Master, we have spoken of love and truth, yet we have not touched upon the promise of your kingdom. What does it mean for those unwilling to grasp the truth, those who revel in the comfort of their ignorance?" The question hung in the air, heavy with possibility. Yeshua's gaze turned thoughtful, and he responded slowly, "The kingdom is both near and at hand. It rests in the hearts of those who seek, yet many prefer the illusion of certainty. Like a mother hen gathers her chicks, so does the spirit yearn for unity and peace. But many choose to remain outside, blinded by fear." Bartholomew, whose sharp mind had often analyzed their discussions, interjected, "But how will they see the truth if we do not show it? How do we manifest this revelation in the world around us?" "Indeed, the question of manifestation is crucial," said Yeshua, "for truth bears weight only when it acts. It is like a spark waiting to catch fire. You must live the truth. Let it flow through your veins and echo in your actions. As you embody love, the light will shine forth even into the darkest corners." At this, the group stared at him, each one wrestling with their own hesitations. What would it mean to live with that kind of authenticity? What sacrifice would it demand? And yet, Peter protested gently, "The world outside is fraught with temptations and perils. How can we ensure that we do not falter in the face of authority or persecution?" Yeshua nodded in understanding, his eyes filled with compassion. "To falter is to be human, Peter. Recognize that strength does not negate weakness, nor does insight erase doubt. Your greatest teacher will be your own vulnerability. In moments of failure, lean heavily on one another. Through your connection, you shall draw strength, and in your collective love, the light will withstand even the fiercest storm." Matthew, who had listened carefully, raised a finger as inspiration washed over him. "Do we then become vessels, not merely of truth but of the struggle that accompanies it? Must we show that the path of righteousness is lined with thorns as much as blossoms?" "Precisely," Yeshua replied, his voice warm. "In transparency there is richness. The display of your scars shall invite others to realize they are not alone in their battles. In this shared vulnerability, a powerful union is born, one that is capable of fostering understanding even amidst strife and division." As murmurs of agreement rose from the group, a new sense of purpose began to weave itself into their hearts. Yet, amid the hope, a disquiet still festered within. Did they truly possess the courage to walk this path? Would their hearts remain steadfast when the trials came? Once again, Nathanael's contemplations took flight. "But what of the name? The name you carry has been spoken and sung, yet its depth seems to grow as we pursue truth. What power does it hold beyond mere identity? Can it not reveal mysteries of creation itself?" Yeshua's expression turned contemplative, and silence reclaimed the space. The essence of a name is a thread woven through all of existence. It carries history, purpose, and hope inherent within its sound. In that name also lies the universe itself, for names, dear Nathanael, are the breathing manifestation of promise and prophecy. As you unearth the truth behind the name, you will unveil layers of the sacred part of a greater tapestry known only to the divine. The words hung, shimmering as new depths beckoned. The disciples felt the weight of the evening meld into their bones as they grappled not only with their own uncertainties but also with the veiled implications of Yeshua's identity. What revelations lay in the depths of names unspoken, and how might they encounter the mysterious power entwined within their Master's true name? As the flickering light danced upon their faces, they took a breath, embodying the uncertainty of the journey ahead. Would they dare to uncover the mysteries of identity? Or would they cling to the familiar shadows that offered semblance yet obscured the fierce rawness of truth? As the shadows settled deeper into the corners of the room, enveloping the disciples in a cocoon of quiet introspection, Yeshua's voice flowed like a river through the gathered men. In every name lies a story, a reflection of the heart that beats beneath. The names we carry shape the essence of our being. They echo in the corridors of our spirit like ancient chants. Master, Andrew's voice quivered. If names hold such power, then what can be said of our own? Do they not tie us to our past, where we come from and who we have been? Yeshua met Andrew's gaze with understanding. Indeed they do. Your names are carved from the earth you tread upon, yet they do not define your destiny. You are not beholden to your past, for each moment is a canvas upon which you may paint anew. The name you carry can transform, as can your spirit, should you choose to embrace the possibility of rebirth. Thomas leaned forward, skepticism etched on his brow. But if the name we utter holds such weight, how do we reckon with the names given to us by those who may not know our true selves? The world labels and confines we are often reduced to simple titles based on our origins, our failures. Yeshua chuckled softly, a sound both light and heavy. And so it is, Thomas. Yet, remember this, the power to redefine rests within you. Like clay in the hands of a potter, your identity is not cast in stone but molded by intention and action. It is when you dare to confront those labels and shatter their confines that you may begin to uncover your true self. As a ripple of thought passed among the disciples, John's voice emerged, cloaked in reverence. So each name Yeshua, Jesus, the Anointed One, each carries a weight of promise and a call to action? In our languages and our lives, do we not echo the divine breath that spoke light into darkness? Yes, John, Yeshua affirmed, the warmth of his presence enveloping the atmosphere. Each name you utter carries the harmonies of heaven and earth, a resonation echoing of what was, what is, and what can be. Your hearts must resonate with the truth of that name. Therein lies the transformative power that can shift paradigms. Peter pondered, if we, too, embrace this manifestation, could it not alter the very course of our journeys? What if we bear witness to the pain and glory woven into one another's names, thus revealing the profound tapestry of grace? Precisely, Yeshua said, a spark igniting in his eyes. Each encounter, every shared vulnerability becomes a thread that ties the fabric of humanity together, showing that we are not alone in our struggles. Names reveal not just our identities, but our invitations to deeper relationship, to understanding that beyond the surface lies a sacred connection. Matthew, his brow furrowed, contemplated, but Master, as we delve into the depths, what if we encounter darkness or fail to understand the mystery it presents? What if it becomes too daunting? Fear not, despair, Yeshua replied, his voice a balmy caress in the coolness of the night. In darkness the light is revealed. Perhaps it is in the unknowing that wisdom will spring forth. Like scattered seeds in a field, the mystery is what nourishes the growth of your spirit. Embrace it all, the chaos, the joy, the uncertainty. They pondered this profound invitation, feeling the weight of his words pressing into their minds. Each man wrestled with the realization that deep knowledge was cloaked in the mysteries of both their identities and their Master's. As they stared into the flickering flames, a new question began to rise, bubbling to the surface of their collective consciousness. What revelation awaited within the intertwining threads of their names, and how might their understanding of identity shape their journey ahead? Would they grow brave enough to face the shadows, revealing the brilliance hidden beneath? The mystery of who they were and the true nature of Yeshua's name beckoned them onward into an uncertain horizon. As the evening wore on, the flickering flames cast playful shadows, illuminating the faces of the disciples, each man carrying a story woven into the very fabric of his being. The air was heavy with contemplation, and the flickering light seemed to pulse with the weight of unasked questions. Yeshua, a beacon of peace even amidst uncertainty, regarded his friends with a profound tenderness that invited further exploration. Turning to his companions, he spoke again, his voice a melodic, soft whisper. Every name, as I have shared, holds a dimension of truth, yet each letter represents a part of a greater narrative. What if we were to seek not the names we've been given, but the essence behind them? What resonates in the spirit reflects in the name. Yet what of the moment when one moment of introspection prompts us to confront the shadows within? Ventured Philip, his gaze resting on the embers, drawing from them courage to voice a deeper thought. If confronting such darkness is essential, must we not first come to terms with its source? Can we truly embody the light if we shy away from knowledge of our own shadows? Yeshua nodded, acknowledging the gravity of Philip's words. In such contemplation lies the heart of transformation. The road to understanding oneself is often lined with thorns, but each thorn carries the promise of fruit. To confront the shadows is to disharmonize them and allow for the alchemy of the soul's awakening. The essence of your name is birthed not solely through accolades or triumphs but through the willingness to wade through the depths of struggle. The flame danced, casting rhythmic glows that played upon the walls of their gathering space, igniting the inner flames of thought within each disciple. The essence of transformation vibrated through them, intertwining with the questions that surfaced. How do we find the strength to face the shadows that lurk in our hearts? Mary of Magdala finally whispered, her voice breaking the silence like a soft breeze. What if the shadows refuse to reveal their truths? Yeshua turned to her, a gentle smile crossing his lips. Ah, Mary, it is the asking that unveils the path forward. You need not an answer to quell your fear but the courage to question. Within the asking, there lies a sacred vulnerability, a willingness to unveil what's hidden within the folds of one's heart. Each shadow offers an invitation, an altar where the spirit communes with the divine. The disciples began to exchange glances, a ripple of realization binding them closer. Into this gathering of hearts, the spirit moved, planting seeds of understanding in the fertile ground of curiosity. What if, mused Nathanael, in uncovering our hidden names, we unwittingly expose the divine character that lies within us? Could understanding those shadows reveal how we reflect the light of Yeshua? An aura of deep contemplation fell over the group as they realized that perhaps the act of embracing their shadows was a prelude to recognizing the true essence of the names they carried. Yes, Nathanael, Yeshua replied, his voice a unifying thread among them. To dance with the shadows is to illuminate the light that exists within. This duality is sacred. In your willingness to unearth the deeper layers of your soul, you begin to glimpse the name of the extraordinary you are destined to embody. As the fire crackled softly, a contemplative silence fell over the assembly, each disciple lost in thought, amazed to navigate a profound journey ahead still untraveled. The weight of their shared exploration invited an undeniable question. How might the revelation of their hidden names guide them toward understanding the full spectrum of their light and darkness? Would this journey forge a pathway to their true purpose? Or would they find themselves daunted by the vastness of the mystery that awaited them? The night deepened, carrying both their questions and hope as they braced themselves for the unfolding tale of their lives intertwined. As the night twilight deepened, a whispering wind rustled through the branches outside, and an air of expectancy enveloped the small assembly of disciples. The flames continued to flicker with restless energy, casting elongated shadows that danced in a playful yet solemn way. Each man felt the intensity of the moment, as if the world beyond them faded, transforming their gathering into a sacred sanctuary of understanding. I have often pondered, James spoke, his brow furrowed with intensity, about the names we freely choose to abandon. Are they not as significant in our journey as those we embrace? Perhaps it is not merely about facing the darkness but understanding why we would cast aside parts of ourselves. Yeshua turned towards him, his gentle gaze inviting exploration. Profound insight, James. Many cast away their former identities fearing the weight they might carry, thinking that the act of renunciation liberates them. Yet, like lost coins, those names remain. They shimmer in the shadows, echoing the tales of lives lived and lessons learned. They are fragments of the mosaic that shapes the soul. Peter, ever the impulsive one, leaned forward. But what then of the shame tied to those names? The hurts we held on to, those we thought premature to release yet are part of our story? How do we reconcile the conflicting emotions that remain? Ah, shame, Yeshua said, his voice soft yet firm. It often dresses itself in heaviness, blinding one to the beauty of forgiveness. To embrace our names and our shadows is to understand that neither define us entirely. The emotions tied to them may arise like turbulent waves, but they are, at their core, reminders, lighthouses guiding us towards growth. He paused, allowing the weight of those words to settle among them. I invite you, my friends, to examine travel oft forgotten, the journey towards forgiveness. Can we transform what lies beneath the surface into something cleansing? Is it not so that every hurt holds a whisper of grace? Silence descended again, thick with possibility as the disciples considered the weight of Yeshua's wisdom. Bartholomew sat deep in thought, his fingers tracing the grains of wood beneath him as he spoke. Forgiveness, can it hold the key to uncovering our dear names? Might it unfold the divine names we bear that we do not yet see? Indeed, Bartholomew, replied Yeshua, his eyes glimmering with understanding. Forgiveness births freedom. It harmonizes the melody of your chaos and order, uniting the shadows and embracing the light. To embody our names is to embody love, even unto those darkest parts, granting them dignity in our stories. As the fire continued to crackle and the disciples wrestled with these evocative thoughts, the shadows on the walls began to shift, almost as if animated by an unseen force. Each figure loomed larger as the night deepened, echoing back the burdens they held, yet now infused with a palpable sense of hope. Andrew spoke softly, almost reverently. Perhaps then, the shadows are not meant to incite terror but to remind us of our potential. Are they not mirrors reflecting what we may be meant to share with the world? Yeshua smiled in acknowledgement. Yes, dear Andrew, they beckon you towards compassion, urging you to embrace every fragment of your being. The journey of unveiling your divine name rests within the tapestry of your life's experiences, the very essence of the heart you seek to illuminate. An enchanting stillness lingered, punctuated only by the embers' soft pop, as they confronted the interplay of light and dark within. The questions weighed heavy in the air, each disciple held captive by both promise and uncertainty. If we are to embrace our names as Yeshua taught, mused John, a flicker of hope igniting in his eyes, then how might we prepare our hearts to engage with the profound? How will we know, amidst the vastness of our own creation, which truths to unearth? In such inquiry, new paths unfurled like unseen realms, leading them closer to the mysteries concealed within themselves. The fire continued its dance, healthily, nourished by both the struggle and exploration that lay ahead, leaving them poised at the intersection of inquiry and faith. What revelations might await them in the embrace of their shadows? As they leaned into the uncertainty, would they discover the divine names the universe sought to reveal, or would their journey reveal an even deeper complexity than they ever imagined? As the fireside crackled with an ever-deepening warmth, the soft glow bathed the faces of the disciples in a haze of reverence. Yeshua, the light of their gathering, held their rapt attention with a quiet power and unspoken understanding that the questions lingering in the air were beckoning further exploration. After moments steeped in silence, Matthew, pen poised as always, broke the hush with a cautious undertone. Yeshua, might it be that our journey to embrace these names also draws us closer to understanding yours? We speak of our own paths, yet your purpose eludes definition while we consider how to reconcile our pasts. What shadows loom behind your name? The question hung delicately, reverberating in their hearts as the flickering flames seemed to pause, giving weight to the moment. Yeshua leaned back, his expression reflecting the depth of Matthew's inquiry. Ah, Matthew, my name, given by man, carries weight, a resonance of both expectation and reverence. What you call me speaks to the essence of who I am, yet it equally tells of those who choose to name me. But the meaning? Asked Thaddeus, emboldened. Does it not hold a deeper significance for us? The name Yeshua, it echoes a purpose beyond what we can grasp. Is it not a bridge to something divine, pulling us towards a destiny intertwined with the very fabric of life itself? Yeshua nodded, a knowing smile gracing his lips. You seek the gravity of signs that shape truth. My name indeed carries the weight of all that exists, handling both mercy and judgment. Like a gentle rain upon a dry land, it calls forth transformation, inviting all to a home they might have lost or never known. The fires crackled again, creating a backdrop for exploration, guiding the disciples further into the recesses of their thoughts. Bartholomew leaned in, fascinated. Does it reflect not only your purpose but ours as well? Upon embracing the truths of our identities, might we uncover something fundamental about the divine names we hold? Could this revelation call forth potential we have yet to see? Yeshua regarded Bartholomew with pride, the flicker of understanding lighting the solemnity of their discussion. Ah, Bartholomew, therein lies the beauty of connection. When light falls upon the depths of our shadows, revealing the name within, we are plunged into a sacred dialogue with the Creator. It lays bare what is meant to flourish beyond us. Peter's voice broke through the contemplative air like a sudden gust. But how do we reconcile that understanding? The complexities of a name can also be the chain that binds us, leading us astray from who we were meant to be. If we dare to unveil our names, can we escape the weight of expectation that comes with it? Ah, dear Peter, Yeshua replied gently, to unravel the expectations woven into your name is to set forth into vulnerability. In the embrace of your truths, you wield the power to transcend earthly definitions. Your name becomes an offering, unfurling your essence like blossoms in spring. Every intention wrapped in these names forms a part of a divine story, simultaneously yours and the world's. The disciples pondered, grappling with their identities and the nature of their purpose, while the shadows crept and danced along the walls, their own silhouettes mirrored by flickering light, looming larger with every passing moment. Finally, John spoke once more, conviction in his voice. If recognizing your names, and our own, leads to uncovering liberation, how might we prepare our spirits for the revelations concealed in our uncertainties? Is there a guide we can trust as we traverse the rugged terrain of our souls? Yeshua, sensing their eagerness and trepidation, replied, guidance lies beneath the surface, revealed as we walk in faith and embrace each name as a stepping stone, a sacred path, weaving wisdom through unity. Trust is born not merely through knowledge but through each experience that refines your spirit. Be mindful of every fleeting thought, and allow grace to breathe into your uncertainty. As the night deepened, the glow of the fire flickered, imbued with an air of curiosity and introspection. Questions filled the air like an unfolding tapestry, each intricate thread revealing their interconnected stories. What awaited them beyond the veil of their understanding? In daring to explore the essence of their names, could they unlock the mysteries of Yeshua's name, an unraveling that might yet reveal the very truth of existence itself? As the night wore on, the warm glow of the fire painted an intimate atmosphere where the shadows danced gently across the walls, mirroring the tumultuous yet hopeful journey that lay ahead for the disciples. Each man, lost in contemplation, felt the weight of an unspoken promise nestled within their souls. That promise shimmered with the potential for transformation, urging them forward into a realm where fear could give way to hope. Yeshua gazed upon his friends, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames, reflecting a tapestry of emotions, anticipation etching lines of determination, doubt casting fleeting shadows across their brows. He sensed the thirst for understanding bubbling beneath the surface, a yearning not only for the truth of his identity but also for their own. Let us embrace the night, Yeshua said, his voice a soothing balm, for the dark often conceals the light that is ready to burst forth. As we unfold the layers of our truths, we may discover glimmers of guidance amidst the shadows, ready to reveal the remarkable fabric of existence. The disciples leaned in, their hearts pounding in sync with the revelation that danced just out of reach, calling them deeper into the mystery of their shared journey. It was Andrew who first voiced the collective longing. Master, if the journey we undertake is not solely about you, but also about awakening to our own hidden names, how do we navigate the swirling sea of expectations and fears that threaten to overwhelm us? Yeshua nodded, appreciating Andrew's vulnerability. Understand this and let it be a cornerstone of your journey. There exists within you a divine essence, a radiant truth that yearns to be unwrapped. Yet, it is often shrouded in the very fears you face. To navigate these waters, you must cultivate a relationship with your fears, not as adversaries, but as messengers. They herald the boundaries you are destined to transcend. With each word Yeshua spoke, a stirring warmth enveloped the group, igniting their spirits. Questions wandered like restless ghosts hovering around the edges of their consciousness. Perhaps this was the moment where they would begin to explore the depth of introspection. Thomas, who had wrestled with doubt, spoke again, tentative but curious. Then how do we know when a truth has been revealed? What is the sign that we are genuinely encountering the essence of our names? Yeshua's eyes sparkled with the knowing, the wisdom of ages reflected in his gaze. When you encounter the truth of your name, it will resonate beyond the confines of your mind. It will echo in your spirit like the soft harmonies of a heavenly choir. You will find it not in formulas or words alone, but in the way it alters your very being, awakening compassion, igniting purpose. It will stir within you a call to step forth in love, tethering your fears to a deeper understanding. As the flames flickered, illuminating doubts and dreams alike, each disciple contemplated the depths of their being, a reflection of their own light and shadow, intertwined in sacred dance. Bartholomew, sensing the gravity of the moment, whispered, "Master, if the name contains layers of our essence waiting to be unveiled, how can we prepare ourselves to face the unearthing of both our light and darkness?" Ah, Bartholomew, the preparation lies in the courage to ask questions that unravel the cloth of pretense and expose the richness of authenticity. Approach each inquiry with an open heart. In the seeking, the journey of revelation begins. Yeshua's voice cast a spell of empowerment over them, the promise of possibility lingering sweetly in the AI as the conversation flowed like a river. Judas, known for his fiery passion, interjected, "If each layer we unearth can reveal strength and vulnerability alike, what assurance do we have that this journey won't lead to division among ourselves and others? How do we remain true to our revelations without fracturing the bonds we share?" "Judas, therein lies a pivotal lesson," Yeshua replied, his tone both earnest and gentle. "While the truth may lead you through valleys of discord, it also has the power to build bridges of understanding. In sharing your truths, your vulnerabilities, you create a tapestry of connection that unites rather than divides. Acknowledge the beauty within each journey's complexity, for it is through unity in diversity that the divine love flourishes." The flames crackled and popped as reflections danced upon the stone walls. The disciples were enveloped in the warmth of intention, their hearts drawing closer, buoyed by the weighty yet liberating nature of Yeshua's words. And there, in that sacred space, the contours of their identities began to soften. They were not merely individuals carrying burdens. They were a mosaic of humanity interwoven through joy, pain, shadow, and light. It was Peter who finally rose, embodiment of the inquisitive spirit that burned within. "Master, if embracing our names means welcoming both the shadows and the light, does it not also beckon us to unfold our stories bravely? How do we tell our stories in a world eager to silence the truth?" Yeshua's gaze softened, and a gentle smile graced his lips. "Ah, Peter, to tell your story is to bear witness to the truth that lives within. Step forth unembellished in love that transcends fear, love that ripples like water through stone. The act of sharing opens pathways, for every soul longs to connect with the authenticity of another's journey. Understand that your stories woven into the fabric of existence contribute to the great tapestry of divine creation." The night deepened around them, and as they each inhaled the wisdom settling like silt at the bottom of a still pond, an awakening happened within the depths of their beings. More than just seekers of truth, they were becoming storytellers of the stream that bridges humanity and divinity, a bridge woven from love, mirroring the very love they received. Yeshua continued, "In the act of unveiling your names, you write a narrative in the sand before the sea. It is unsure and shifting, yet eternal in its purpose. In walking this journey together, may you find the bonds of your love strengthened, woven tighter like ropes, capable of bearing life as storms. As the flames danced their last flickers into the night, hope surged through the disciples like a wave rushing ashore, carrying whispers of transcendent love, connection, and sacred vulnerability. They were ready to bear witness to their truths, discover their hidden names, and bravely navigate the uncharted lands of their destinies. With hearts intertwined, they gathered their resolve, the promise of transformation curled in the corners of their spirits, aptly reflected in the glow of the flames that had nurtured their shared journey. They knew they were on the precipice of revelation, a universe unfolding in each moment before them, calling them to step forth, embracing not just their truths but their ultimate purpose. The truth was emerging from within their names, woven into the fabric of eternity, beckoned not only to their understanding but also to their commitment. And as the flickering lights waned, they felt a surge of unity envelop them, a newfound strength that was palpable in that dimly lit room. Amidst the shadows, the essence of both their identities and their masteress emerged, revealing profound truths woven together, a tapestry of faith that would echo through the ages. Their journey of discovery had only just begun, yet the path of love lay ahead, waiting to be embraced. What they urged forth and experienced would transcend time, illuminating not just their lives but the lives of countless souls yearning for their own revelations. As they finally rose to leave, words of promise hung in the air. In embracing the shadows and the light, they emerged committed, firm in their resolve to live into the names that had long awaited discovery. The flames surrendered reluctantly, but the love that ignited their hearts blazed brighter than any torch, an enduring light, glowing in the eternal night. And in that moment, they understood every name, every journey, and every revelation held a purpose that reached beyond themselves. They would step boldly into the world, discovering not just who they were meant to be, but enacting a purpose that would be woven into the stories of generations to come.